BTA, BTA, BTA. Can the Eagles do it again in the rematch with the Chiefs on Sunday? We'll find out on Sunday, but until then, we talk about the game with Fran Duffy and EJ Smith in studio. Coming up next on the PHLY Eagles Show. Live from the Xfinity Studio. We welcome you to the PHLY Eagles podcast, presented by Bet365 and Ashley, Wulf, Fran Duffy, EJ Smith coming at you on a beautiful fall Thursday. How you guys doing? What's up, Fran?
Doing great. How's it going? BTA, that Bo talks Arrowhead?
Sure. Bo tells all.
I don't think we want that.
I don't think we do either.
I don't know if that one will.
How are you, EJ?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. I have first road trip coming up of the season. I'm excited about that. Yeah, but it's gonna be a good game. Gonna be a good show.
What are your deets here? You flying out Saturday?
Yeah, I fly out Saturday morning. Don't ask me the specific time. It's 10-ish.
Okay.
It's around then. Yeah.
You got a meal planned?
Yeah, I'm going out with my old Inquirer colleagues. I was heartened that I was still invited. It definitely made me feel good. So.
Yeah, and did you ask anybody from Kansas City for a restaurant recommendation, or did you just lean on old reliable?
My former colleague Jeff McClain, like Zack Baun, is 100% on restaurant recommendations and choices. So I went with his I feel
like the more we're finding out here, we find out that you just have a low bar for restaurants.
That is
everybody
totally
is a 100%. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I do not have a high bar for restaurants. I went to Applebee's for my 21st birthday.
That sounds nice.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
But that goes to show you like the level of restaurant I am happy with.
You big barbecue guy?
I mean at home, yeah, I don't necessarily get that at like Applebee's. Boneless wings.
I'm talking about Kansas City though.
Oh, yes, obviously. Yeah.
Not just asking randomly.
I thought you were talking about Applebee's.
I want more baby back. How you doing, Fran? God.
I was the same I was when you asked me 2 minutes ago.
We're off to a great
All right. EJ, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah. You know, what are we doing here?
I don't know. Weird day. All right, let's get into it. Yesterday, Eagles returned to the practice field, and there have been some transactions that have happened. One of which, I mean, made me furious, and I am still like, listen, 2 Super Bowls is great. If I was Jeffrey Lurie, like I don't know that firing the general manager would have been too strong, given the move that they made. It worked out okay for them. But EJ, give us the latest and greatest from the NovaCare complex.
Yeah, so the Eagles did release Gabe Hall from the active roster, which I feel like is the lead here, obviously, on this show.
What are they doing? I know he didn't get claimed, but just because you drive drunk and don't get in an accident doesn't mean it's okay to drive drunk. Like, why are they waiving Gabe Hall when they've got 2 veteran edge rushers inactive on game day, and then you added another veteran edge rusher? What about if Will Shipley's not hurt and he's not going on IR? Do we need A.J. Dillon now that we have Tank Bigsby? What are we risking Gabe Hall for? This is a young player you developed.
It's a huge risk.
I've got no good answer for you. I have
What are they
tried
doing?
to figure out a good answer. I have not figured out a good answer for you, but that is how they cleared space for Tank Bigsby to get on the roster. We saw Tank Bigsby and Zadarius Smith on the practice field on, what was that, Wednesday? Sorry, always losing track of days. We saw them on Wednesday. Zadarius Smith, number 52. Tank Bigsby, number 37. How are you feeling about that?
Rough. That's a rough start for Tank Bigsby. Not as rough as the introductory video. That
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, listen, it is so perfectly set up. It's like we don't usually get to see the full kickoff return rep.
And sometimes the
practice.
shooting period is over by the time we see that.
Right. But you know what? They're thinking to themselves, okay, we have Devin Hester 2.0, the greatest return man in the league. It's on spec. He's only done it 11 times, but we feel like this is, remember Dante Hall, but just imagine him bigger. That's basically what Tank Bigsby is. And like, okay, we're going to show him off. and then poor guy catches the kickoff return and then just like vomits up the ball onto the ground.
It was definitely like a
And you caught it. Good
yeah,
videography.
yeah, listen, you keep rolling through it, even if
never know
you
what
guys
you're
are
gonna
walking forward, you're walking through the shot, you just keep going. And yeah, he kind of bobbled the ball
Poor
after
guy.
he fielded it cleanly, it
Yes.
looked like, but then bobbled it moments thereafter. Again, a forced fumble by the air on that one, I think. So
No,
yeah.
Jahan Campbell actually.
Well, maybe we don't need that right now. Maybe we will, but I don't think we need a Jahad Campbell forced fumble in this instance.
No stat corrections have been issued by the league yet, so we could be getting some breaking news here in
Now,
the show.
I want the chat to tell me what they think about like how they've withheld this victory from me.
You keep saying that. This is when we declare the victory. It's a weekly cycle. Before we do Swooper today, which we will have coming up later in the show, we review who won last week.
Maybe it's just my experience listening to you guys on this show that I've got my guard up for maybe some new guy. Oh, we're not going to give you the win, but I don't know. I'm just, again, I want to hear what the chat has to say about this.
When it comes to games on this show, my integrity is without question.
This is what I mean.
You lost me on that one.
Yeah.
Off the show, fine. Question. But when it comes to games, everything is on the up and up.
It was noteworthy that Tank Bigsby was the first returner up in practice.
Right away.
And he'd also fielded other kickoffs cleanly, we should note. But the first one.
Of course. This is not like he's going to be a bad kicker.
And it is like
a very funny introduction.
It's just like a tough, well, not tough. It's a funny thing as a reporter where it's like you take the video completely innocuous and then it's like,
Well, you're going to get some,
and I told you, like, I will reward the viewers that watch it. Like if they notice it, I'm not going to sit there and broadcast it on the post.
I think that's right.
I do need to inform everybody that the Jaguars fan base has found this video and now it is making the rounds with the Jaguars fans.
It's good for your numbers.
Oh no, I mean
that like
I don't do it. I'm not in it for the numbers.
The Duval bump.
The Duval bump.
I think it's what I call it. Yeah.
It's so fun to do that.
Duval. You're like
Duval.
I like that the chat is telling me I should be concerned about the way that Swooper has gone this week.
Don't trust them. They don't know anything.
Oh, I trust them. How dare you?
You don't even know who CDP is. You can't relate to the chat.
I'm learning the chat.
Did you talk to Tank Bigsby in the locker room?
I was not there, but I do have notes from his press conference, so we can go through those.
Let's hear it.
He said he was expecting a trade because of how the season opener went for him, his workload. And then, he was, kind of said the stuff you expect him to say. He's optimistic about joining a successful team and has an opportunity to do something great. He was asked about like what he likes about the new kickoff format, how it lends itself. And I thought, listeners to the show will know that I've complained about the overuse of this is like the inside zone, but I liked his characterization of it. He said, it's like a big old zone run. I appreciated that. It's just like a bigger version of it. I was like, okay, I can appreciate that.
That's a way to describe somebody's physique.
A big old zone.
Big old zone run.
He said that he can get downhill on kick returns and that the way it's set up, you see a gap, you hit it, and you can crease it. So I like that.
It's very funny that it's like, okay, kickoffs are now basically running plays. So we're going to go get this guy, but he's just a kickoff returner. He's not actually just a running back for us. Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I agree.
We don't think we're going to put that together?
And then do you want the origin of his name?
Sure.
When he was 7 years old, he was running with the ball and his helmet came off, but he kept running and his mom said, you were running like a tank, and it just stuck.
Okay.
It's fun.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
It's a good nickname.
Great. Did you talk to Zadarius Smith, the other new guy?
I did. I enjoyed, I asked him about like, did you think like this could have been the end? Like, what was that wait like for you? And he was like, come on. Like I knew.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He had a lot of teams calling is what he said.
Was it basically, I just didn't want to go through training camp?
I mean, that's my read on it. That's not what he said.
Okay.
He said that he was waiting to see what opportunity made the most sense and that he felt really comfortable coming to Philadelphia. He knew Obo Okoronkwo because they were in Cleveland together. And he
talked maybe to him that's why they didn't whack him.
Because they didn't want to upset Zadarius Smith right as he got through the door. Maybe it was in Zadarius Smith's contract. Like you can't cut Obo.
But also, the other thing is they risked, like, I understand that they think that Gabe Hall is expendable now because Byron Young had a good game, but by getting rid of Byron Young's best friend, you risk losing Byron Young too.
I mean, not really.
like emotionally.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, do you think Byron Young's gonna like demand a trade?
No, but his heart's not gonna be in it. You took away his best friend.
No arguments there. I can't argue that. He did mention Zadarius Smith. He mentioned that the Brandon Graham role had been vacated, and that was something that stood out to him. And I think maybe not like on field, but off field, I do think there is some value to having that veteran presence in the room. Somebody who has kind of a proven track record in the league. Obviously, Okoronkwo is also a veteran player, but again, Zadarius Smith I think kind of adds to that element.
I think there is a difference, though. Now I don't want to be the BG defender here.
Oh, there's definitely a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference between like the guy who's been in the same place where you are
no question.
for 14 years versus a guy who has bounced around a lot and not for nothing has had like some back and forths with the places he's been. It hasn't always been rosy. Like that's a bit. It's not exactly like this is our chosen veteran leader. It's more like he's here to be a mercenary.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't think you really there's really no replacing Brandon Graham in the locker room. So I just thought it was interesting both from like a veteran standpoint, but also like the role that you envisioned for Brandon Graham last year before the season started. I think that probably is something you could see for Zadarius Smith. Maybe not right away. Nick Sirianni was non-committal about pretty much everything he was asked about, if I'm being honest. But including Zadarius Smith's potential role, talking about how it really is player dependent on how much guys can pick up and how they can integrate within the scheme. Defensive end, we've talked about it, is like a pretty seamless. It's just there are fewer strings attached at that position, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him play, but yeah, they definitely are kind of slow playing how much he will play. And I thought it was interesting. Zadarius Smith said that he hasn't been in pads since January 14th. So it's been a long layoff for the guy.
We mentioned BG. We should just say, please check out the Brandon Graham Unblocked podcast.
Absolutely.
On YouTube, and check out the clips. Follow BG_Unblocked on the social medias. There was a funny moment in there when I asked him about Zadarius Smith. And he's like, yeah, I think like we're pretty similar. Like we're pretty similarly built. I'm like, I think he's taller than you.
Yeah. You're like, oh, it's just what I think. He tried to walk it back a little bit. I enjoyed that.
I felt bad, but I had to, I ain't gotta be honest.
I would encourage, go check it out. It was a lot of good insight there from BJ and some funny moments, as you would expect. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it live yesterday.
His personality just really takes to podcasting. Right. He's a natural.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the news, the new guys. What about what we heard from Jalen Hurts yesterday?
Well, really quick, I think we should mention injuries too.
Yes. We haven't even talked about the big one.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert was not at practice on Wednesday. He was listed with a knee injury. I suspect this could be, I'd be surprised if he played this week. I suspect this could be a couple weeks at this point with him. So, obviously he's had an injury history the last few years, and it's definitely not a good time.
Catch a break.
Yeah.
Like, it's brutal.
I mean, it's why when the contract negotiations were going on with him and the team this spring, this offseason, it was like, you get it from both sides. Just because, he had two stints on IR last year, and it's been a consistent thing over the last 3-4 years.
It's also why, I know they threw a bunch of like darts at the wall.
Yeah.
But I really feel like they should have done something else at tight end this offseason.
Yeah, you look at the draft, and it seemed like there was a run that went earlier than they were on the board. So I feel like the last 2 years, I feel like there have been examples where like you kind of feel like this would have been a good time for them to go tight end, and it hasn't worked out for them.
Listen, this is like the silliest thing to complain about. I'm still mystified that they didn't sign an undrafted tight end.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
But like, you know what I mean? They have nobody under contract for next season. Why not take a shot? Like,
honestly,
they're not going to not win the Super Bowl. Like, this is probably the best run organization in football. It still baffles me.
More surprising that a agent didn't think this is a good spot to put my undrafted player to send him to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Cameron Latu getting some work at fullback.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
For you at all?
Just give me the 6th lineman.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There might be more on that later.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
About the 6 offensive linemen?
You got a little scuttlebutt?
I feel like what I would say is that I think the players agree that there should be some Fred Johnson usage as the 6th offensive lineman. So yeah, we've talked about it, especially a game like this one against the Chiefs, where you think that they might send a lot of pressure packages, just being able to lean on heavy packages, maybe not major in it. I know we kind of disagree on that, but at least to be able to lean on it at times, again, like, what are we doing with Grant Calcaterra and Kylan Granson as your 2 point of attack tight ends in the blocking in the run game? It's just not.
And
not
that's we're
good
talking
enough.
about it, especially without Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Right. The best of your blocking tight ends. You want to bring 2 guys on the field. I don't know. It's going to be. You would imagine that this would be a game to lean into those 6 O-line packages.
Yeah. The thing is that if they haven't been working on it at all, then you're not going to just throw it in. So I don't have high hopes that it would happen.
But we have seen him do it, at least an individual. Like I never
Didn't
sent
bring
you the
that up.
video, maybe because I don't want you to get too excited. But I have seen him working on the left side of Jordan Mailata during practice at times. So I think it's something that is like on their radar, but not necessarily something they've rolled out in the game.
What do you think? I've been thinking more about the condensed splits stuff. Is that a thing that you think that they are going to continue to lean into?
You hope not.
And I guess
in this game,
before we get into the specifics of the matchup, in this game specifically.
Yeah, I think that you can go condensed. What I like throwing from condensed and I like running from spread, right?
Yeah.
So like the idea of like, all right, you bring everybody in and then you throw out of it, and then the opposite where you spread everybody out and then you run. You lighten the box and then you're able to hit it, down the middle. I think when you're looking at this game in particular against Kansas City, what would concern me when you bring all of those bodies in, when you have a blitzing defensive coordinator like a Steve Spagnuolo, is that now you are really allowing him to disguise pressure at an even better rate and a more efficient rate. And so that would concern me going into this game.
If you're spread wide, even if you're fooled, the guy's coming from further away.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't think that you need to reinvent the wheel from what you did schematic. We'll get into it when we get the preview. I don't think that you should reinvent the wheel for what you did. It worked so well, 9 months ago, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I just from a common sense standpoint, if you feel like you have the talent advantage in most of the matchups, common sense would be like, let's spread everything out as far as possible so that like there's enough space for our guys to win, or there's enough space for us to not be fooled up front and let our offensive linemen block them.
Yep.
Whereas like going condensed would be more, we think we're outmanned, we can scheme things up this way and it'll be a little bit more confusing for them. It feels a little bit away from the way that they run their offense, which seems to be so leaning into our talent advantage.
Well, I guess you can create space outside the numbers with the condensed splits, but it's a matter of taking advantage of that space.
Yeah, and going back to, and I think it's a connected conversation, the 12 personnel stuff. You guys talked about it on Tuesday. To me, just get your best players on the field, right? And you're trying to find different. So rather than say going in and say, all right, well, we definitely want to play 12 because that's important to us. We want to make sure that we can diversify and be able to attack defenses in multiple ways and be versatile. Just get your best guys out there as often as you can. And when you look around the league, there was an uptick in multiple tight end sets over in this week 1 sample. But a lot of the teams that leaned into it, Arizona, Cleveland, like those are teams that don't have great receiving cores, right? And so to me, you lean, and when you look at this tight end group, like Grant Calcaterra, nice player. I think when you look at this group, it's solid, and Dallas is very, very good when he's healthy. You don't have Dallas Goedert now. I just can't imagine that they're going to lean heavily into those kind of sets once they get into Kansas City on Sunday.
Yeah, it definitely feels more like an 11 game, especially when you think about the matchup advantages they could have on the perimeter.
Last thing before we get to break is Jalen Hurts. What kind of things did he talk about yesterday?
He had a lot to say about a lot of different topics. I would say like the Mahomes Hurts matchup, while intriguing and while I think we all know that Jalen does value or have the competitive drive in those types of games. I mean, we'd be lying if we pretended he didn't. He is obviously not really going to acknowledge it. He was asked about the Mahomes matchup and he said, I look at it as another opportunity, looking inward, focusing on the things that we can build on as a team. So really a no sell on that one. The one thing I did find interesting, again, like, that Jalen always has those few things he really wants to hit on in a press conference. He was asked about AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, the lack of targets for those guys, and really kept hitting on the word collective, the collective. The importance of the offense and the team without zooming in on one player. So I definitely think that is a message he wanted to get across. Again, he mentioned it a few times. He said, as an offense, we just came back and said, we want to go out there and play efficient football and we want to be all in on the collective. So you take that for what you will. We also heard from AJ Brown while Jalen was speaking. So I can give you more of that on the other side of the break.
What a tease. What a pro.
What a pro.
Fantastic. We'll get to that soon, just after these words from our sponsors. I've told you about the experience I had the other day watching football with my buddy. Asked me to come over and watch the game. Sounds great. First Sunday, no Eagles game. Get there, the setup, it's a total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps to try to find the game. I thought this guy was a big fan, but it turned out I was fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. It is the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place, and the way you watch is next level. It is the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like you're in the stadium. On top of all that, you get real-time notifications and live stats right on your TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Next, we've got some breaking news from Bet365. They pioneered live in-game betting and have 90 million users worldwide. Bet365 live streams 780,000 events each year and offers the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports each year, with early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. With the Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes 5 runs ahead with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. New customers can now also get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, again, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or over and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Super chats, hot and heavy so far
in
this episode. Let's check those out. Dinkelberg gets things started. It says, Azeez Ojulari and or Agbo Okoronkwo have the early makings of the new Alberto.
Ooh.
Very O forward.
Yeah, but to say even like the names or...
Yeah, AO, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Both have a chance with potentially a PHLY, although that would be disappointing if they got all the way there.
That would, I think that would be that would deserve like its own episode. If both guys were able to get a PHLY.
Real men sit to pee. I know that's right.
Respect that.
Says, we haven't gotten your take on this, EJ. You're a sitsman?
Not frequently, but I will never frown upon that. I mean, listen, the middle of the night, you don't, because the middle of the night you're going like you're
trying to stay in the sleep mode.
Yeah. And also,
100%.
like, if you're not going to turn the lights on,
exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
100% hit rate if you're sitting down. That's all I have to say.
You disagree, Andrew? Listen,
there's no
do what you got to do.
There's no machismo over here.
Yeah.
I don't have any pride on the line with this.
You look like you have something to say.
I spent 50 minutes this morning. I was going to bring up this. Look, now's what better time than right now? 50 minutes this morning unclogging a toilet. Too much toilet paper going in through Francis. Just like through.
Of course,
naturally.
How would you grade your ability to unclog a toilet with a plunger?
Oh, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm a very good plunger.
I was so frustrated because it was I've never encountered a clog like this one. I eventually got it, but man, it was like from 5:45 until 6:30, 6:45. That's how I spent my morning.
Now, do you guys have like the real plunger or like the flimsy one? You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Now, yeah.
Does your plunger is it like a half circle, or does it have like an extra attachment?
Oh, you mean that little that I know what you're
the
talking
little
about.
suction thing on the inside.
I don't think I'm good. I'd give myself.
I prefer I give me the old fashioned plunger.
Oh no, see, I got the heavy duty one, and even because I think probably because I don't have your skills.
Oh yeah,
that's the type of thing that
we're got good plungement over here.
Is that the type of
I'm
thing?
looking for
No, sorry. He almost left you hanging.
Yeah.
Do you need to just look that up as an adult to learn how to actually do it? You think?
No, I feel like it's an inherited trait. I feel like you got it or you don't.
You got to feel. I think that's. I
don't know if I got that dog.
It's really it's athleticism. If you're a good athlete, you can.
I don't know. All right, you lost me with that one.
No.
You lost me with that one.
It's all about feel. You got to know the right spot, the right angle, and just
and then you got to give it the good.
That has to be a drop.
See, I pull
There's
it
a
out
real
of the
skill.
water to do like
You
the
got to get
suction
water
every
in there.
time.
Yeah.
Every time?
Almost every time. Yeah.
No, I don't do that.
See, we have
I guess
different
I'm more
methods.
skilled. Yeah.
You guys got to share your craft.
Does Francis also do the thing where he pulls the toilet paper down and
Yeah, and then the dog does it, and the cat does it. So like the doors have to stay shut in all of our bathrooms for this reason.
Anyway, Real Men Sit to Pee, his question, EJ, after working with Bo for a month, do you still think he steals all of your takes?
I don't think you steal as many of my takes, but you did steal one of my phrases early on, and now this is the perfect time to litigate.
Okay.
We were talking about Jahad Campbell on the show, and I said that he had stopping power. And then the next morning, you were on with Anthony, and you used the expression "stopping power." And I was like, I don't like. Fran,
I
is
can't
that
be
a football guy
responsible for
phrase, or do you
anything I
think-
say that early in
Do
the
you hear
morning.
a lot of football guys use that phrase?
I mean, I like stopping power.
I love using it.
I
Yeah, I
like
like a
using
stopping power. I don't know. I never heard you say it before.
I gotta say so many words.
Oh, here we go.
Can't be held accountable.
This was just an
No
admission
way.
of guilt. So thank you to Real Men Sit to Pee for finally.
I mean,
letting me
I
get this
am
off
willing
my
to say
chest.
that it is more likely that I unintentionally took that from you than any takes. I've never stolen a take from you. That's
You
ridiculous.
borrowed every once in a while. It's okay. It's all right. We're partners now.
You've got terrible takes.
Oh, I disagree wholeheartedly.
Polar Jam, more like Dallas got hurt. Shaking my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It gives me no pleasure to report that that's an A+ joke. De Niro's Eagles cardigan. Could we trade Nakobe Dean once he's healthy, and what could we get for him? Seems like how he played last year, and Trotter Dean is expendable. Could we get a tight end or a corner from it?
I think it's more likely that he's brought back on some kind of 1-year deal to as opposed to trying to trade him.
I also
just don't
think
know
it trade value wise, you're talking about the guy on the final year of his deal coming off a serious injury. I feel like it would be more likely to me he gets back, and then for some reason somebody really likes Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And you're able to trade him for a backup tight end.
Yeah, I think a backup tight end is probably like the ceiling of what you'd expect to get for somebody like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Though. I mean, that's not like his value is going to be crazy either.
Yeah.
CDP, Chase Daniel Plainview. How was Andy Reid? I don't know if we're going to read this. Yeah, I'm going to skip that. CDP, I love you, but we're not going to go there today. And then De Niro goes, what is y'all's opinions on bidets?
The toilet I unclogged today has a bidet. I'm pro bidet.
Yeah, pro bidet.
That I am unafraid to sit on in the middle of the night has a bidet.
Did you install that bad boy yourself?
I did.
Yeah.
Now, the thing...
A little bit of a pain to install.
And then the thing, this is a PSA to all the people out there. You got to clean that thing every once in a while. You got to like get it back up and clean, like a deep clean. You don't
That's
think
good
so?
to know. No, I hadn't.
No, I mean,
hasn't
even
crossed my
it's
mind.
just like it's not like it doesn't get like gross under there, but you want to clean it.
Yeah, that
Do you
makes
have hard
sense.
water?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Hard water, it's like easily corroded to like pipes and like stuff like that. Like our faucets in our old house, like the same deal.
Like hard water stains on like your silverware.
Yes.
There's another thing that made us realize we have hard water. I can't remember what it is now, but yeah.
Shower head.
Pro bidet.
Oh yeah, we go through shower heads
Yeah,
for that reason.
For that reason.
There you go. All right. Let's get to the football.
I was about to say that was a lengthy.
Oh, you know what? We missed a super chat earlier this week from Frank Barber, who said, crude, not lewd. Bo knows best. There you go.
For people that missed Monday's conversation.
I think that was Tuesday.
No, because I was on the show. I was on the show.
No, it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. That's right. I was in the chat that day.
Yeah.
Not on the show.
You were killing
Tuesday.
me in the chat that day.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Didn't say
Chiefs
it was
offense against the Eagles defense. We know how this matchup went last time these two teams played. One of the best defensive performances, probably the best defensive performance that we will ever see, given the stakes. Week 1, what did the Chiefs offense look like? How different did it look from what we came to expect last year?
Yeah, I think that, last year they got knocked, rightfully so, for being a little bit too conservative. They struggled to find the explosives. And I felt like they came out week 1 with the idea that they were going to be explosive down the field. Very early on in this game, you saw more verticality. Opening drive, they went with a cross-country dagger concept where Patrick Mahomes went to the check down. That's a cross-country dagger is like you have a deep vertical route from the number 3 receiver. The number 2 receiver runs vertically as well. And then the number 1 guy on the outside runs a deep dig. So you have 3 vertical routes. Everybody was going, but nothing was, it wasn't clear there from Mahomes, so he ended up going to the check down. He threw an incomplete deep post over the top. On the next drive, he overthrew a 9 route to Tyquan Thornton on the next drive after that. So first 3-4 drives, like they wanted to really push it vertically down the field. Obviously, Xavier Worthy gets hurt. So they got away from it, I think, as the game went on a little. But I think that they wanted to be more explosive. They're still not getting any explosives out of the run game. But I think that they came out and said, all right, we want to see if we can create a big play down the field.
I thought Pacheco looked a little bit better, a little bit healthier, a little bit sprier, but yeah, I mean, they didn't get anything going.
No, they did not get much going on the ground. I thought the Chargers did a good job of holding their own, certainly at the point of attack.
Let's talk about the point of attack there, because the big difference from last year is we got a new left side of the offensive line. Josh Simmons at left tackle, Kingsley Suamataia at left guard. How did they look in week 1?
I think that Suamataia, who started the season as their left tackle last year as a rookie and just wasn't ready for it. He apparently had
one of your guys.
Yeah, I was high on Suamataia.
I mean, what a fun name to say.
Yeah. Actually, I believe one of the first times I was ever on the show, the Combine that year. And you and
I think that's right.
You and your co-host at the time were very couldn't believe how I was pronouncing the name.
Yeah, this stuff changes so often. It's hard to think back. But yeah.
But no, so Kingsley struggled last year, and so they moved him inside to guard and reportedly had a good summer. You can get after him in pass. I think if in terms of like pure pass protection, even at guard, I like that matchup
in
for
terms
the
of
Eagles.
power.
Yeah, more technique.
Okay,
and even for like foot quickness. I think last week they moved even Khalil Mack inside at times. They were able to get a couple of wins against Suamataia in this game in pass protection. And then Josh Simmons physically outstanding. Looked really, really, really good. I think he's going to end up being a very good player for them. There were a couple of mental lapses where, like he was late picking up a stunt or a slant inside. So I think that, to me, like that's the weak point in pass pro. Like I said, Simmons looked very good. Suamataia, like even on the move, like outside in terms of like used as a puller and things of that nature in the screen game, just didn't look great. He is at his best. Like, all right, like we're on an inside zone and I just got to block this guy in front of me and move him off the ball. Powerful. Like he can do that. But outside of that, like didn't look great. We know about the right side of the offensive line. Creed Humphrey, best center in football right now. Trey Smith, one of the best right guards in football right now. Big, powerful mauler. And then at right tackle, Juwan Taylor, talented, very inconsistent. And you can get after him. So I think
they did in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yes, they did in the Super Bowl. And I think they should be able to here in this game. The way that I would express it clicked to me as I was doing my notes, just kind of watching through the game. Juwan Taylor, A, traits, C, technique. Like if you're on ABC grades, C, technique, he's a B player. Like, he's got all the traits. So there are going to be games and reps where he looks awesome. And then there's going to be games and reps where he does not look awesome, and you try and take advantage when he can.
So do you remember how they handled Jalen Carter in the Super Bowl? Was it just Trey Smith handles him one-on-one and we're rolling the protection to the other guy? Because we know we've got they had a weakness at left guard then. They have a weakness at left guard now as well. Or were they trying to double team with Humphrey and Trey Smith, our two best guys, on Jalen Carter, and let the other guy take the worst matchup?
Seeing how this game went against the Chargers, if Jalen Carter is lined up against Suamataia, I think they would be foolish to not slide Creed Humphrey that way. I think if they were to leave Suamataia one-on-one and if it's 3rd and 8 and Jalen Carter's lined up across from him, honestly, even if they do, if Zadarius Smith is lined up across from him, if they put Zadarius Smith in, like, that's a matchup that the Eagles should feel confident in going into this game.
Now, what's interesting is that Jalen Carter lined up almost exclusively over the right guard last season.
Right.
So I think this will be very indicative of if they are more comfortable moving him around the interior this year.
And I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Right? I don't see any reason why.
Yeah, I mean, there might have been a reason that they didn't last year. I assume he's more comfortable on that side. But yeah, at some point, especially the level of player that he is, they need him to move to be able to exploit those matchups.
Honestly, that has been my, because I mean, look, they've been so good from a defensive front standpoint for years and years and years. But over the course of that time, the knock I would have on that group, like schematically, they're not like a creative, like all the different fronts and look what they're moving guys around. It has typically been like, all right, like Fletcher Cox at left defensive tackle, Timmy Jernigan or Javon Hargrave or whoever at right defensive tackle, left end, right end, and we're going to go. No matter who the defensive coordinator is, Jim Schwartz, Jonathan Gannon, Sean Desai, like you go down, it's been pretty static in
especially because Fangio has been creative with his fronts in the past. Am I wrong about that?
He's creative in a like in terms of where guys line, but not in terms of like
what role they play.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, not in terms of the role they play, but it sometimes it's odd front, even front, 6-man front. Like you're going to change things up from that standpoint.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see because it's like, to me it sounds like, Because my question was like, do you think that Jalen Carter stylistically matches up well against Trey Smith because of the quickness that he has off the ball, or do you really think this is just like a simplified get him over Josh Simmons and let him win?
I would say that like Jalen Carter, you feel good about it with going up against anybody. Now Trey Smith is really, really good. I think Jalen Carter can get some wins there, but I also think it's possible that he ends up getting stalemated throughout the course of the game if that's the only person he lines up against. I do think that they did a decent job of trying to line him up over the center at times last year, but Creed Humphrey, also a very good player. So, that is something I'll certainly be watching as we go through the game on Sunday afternoon.
EJ, what was the reaction in the locker room to Jalen Carter's, not suspension, but his punishment from the league?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Davis said that Jalen Carter apologized to the defensive line room. I think that they're all ready to kind of put it behind them, and understandably so. Again, I mentioned earlier that Nick Sirianni was non-committal about most things. He did not have much to offer on their reaction to the one-game suspension from the NFL. He really didn't offer much about even Jalen Carter, how he's responded to it. I expect we'll hear from Jalen Carter at some point soon, but yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of, they definitely haven't been giving it much oxygen so far this week.
Fascinating insight.
Yes.
Leo in the chat, who tells us, important PSA, the regular flimsy half circle plunger is for sinks. The one with the extra little attachment thing is made for toilets. Always get the right tool for the job.
This has been a good day for me and my bathroom takes. I have to, and you know what?
How is that good for your take?
You're not right about anything. You said you're bad at it still.
No, but
so you have the right tool and you're still bad at it.
No, hang on. I said you guys need the one with the attachment, and I was right. We're not going to reframe this.
We're still using it.
We're still making it work.
You guys might be great plungers and everything, but work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, but you're still not able to do it.
And the bidet thing, I was right about that. I saw people in the comments going, "Oh no, Bo hasn't cleaned his." So now you got to work on your bathroom stuff. I think that my previous podcasting experience has helped me with the bathroom stuff. I feel like I've got it pretty well sorted out.
You remain very low percentage on your takes. Pav P throwing in a super chat. You know what? We're going to get to this later, Pav. We will get to that when we get to Swooper. Last thing two more things here.
Yeah.
How do you think that Andy Reid is going to go about making sure that Adoree Jackson is having a tough day?
Well, look, they're going into this game without 3 of their top 4 or 5 receivers, depending on how you view the rookie Jalen Royals. I would say probably more of like the 5th option in the pecking order there, but no Rashee Rice, obviously, due to the suspension. Xavier Worthy, it feels like he's not going to play.
Too bad. He's the best player in the game.
I mean, absolutely game-tilting player at the Super Bowl. So I think when you're looking at the way that they are probably going to attack, of course, who could forget? To me, Hollywood Brown had 16 targets. Leads the NFL right now. He had 16 targets this past week. To me, you're going to see plenty of Hollywood Brown. The way that I think that they're going to approach it, understanding the Eagles are going to play a lot of zone coverage. It's probably going to be a lot of. Do you guys think it's going to be Adoree Jackson, or do you think it's going to be Ja'Cory Bennett?
I think it'll be Adoree. I don't think this is the week you pull the plug on him. I think, especially like thinking about the Chiefs receiving core, it feels like they can skate by with Adoree for a week. Could be wrong, but Vic said it. It's him right now.
I think
he's the best truth teller.
Yeah, I also think if you went through the summer and you thought it was Adoree, I think you got to give him at least 2 games.
Yeah, I kind of lean that way as well. All right, so as I said on Monday and on Friday, they didn't go out of their way to constantly give Adoree extra help. They definitely gave him more help than Quinyon. When they do give him help, it's Adoree is playing cover 2 with a safety over top of him, right? So in those scenarios, if Andy Reid is anticipating it's going to be cover 2, they're going to be running zone cover 2 beaters over to that side. And I would imagine it's going to be Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, the Noah Gray, like guys like that. They're going to be hitting that sideline and trying to attack him in that way and just try and create chunk plays. To answer your question in terms of attacking.
What's that?
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm unmoved by the Chiefs receiving core. It feels like they're just, I mean, they're missing their top guys. So it's not a surprise, but it doesn't feel like Adoree Jackson's going to be under a microscope in the same way. Maybe famous last words here. Maybe we'll clip this and play it next week, but it just doesn't, I don't have the same like like level of like, oh my God, how are they going to try and cover up for him? It just feels like it should be an easier game for him.
Hollywood Brown had some chunk plays this past week, inside structure, outside structure. It was like a lot of manufactured stuff. There was a good stat from Next Gen. Only 2 of his 16 targets came in a tight window. So they did a really good job of just scheming him up and just finding ways to get him the ball. Juju Smith-Schuster still there. Tyquan Thornton, former second-round pick by the Patriots. To me, like he's a big body, like explosive, dirty work player, like a Mac Hollins type. Had a good summer for all intents and purposes there in Kansas City, earned his way onto the roster. And so those would be certainly the names I would kind of circle going into this one from a wide receiver standpoint.
And then the other thing we got to remember here is we made so much of Jalen Hurts' ability as a scrambler in week 1. Patrick Mahomes just as effective last week. Tied Jalen with 5 first down scrambles.
Yep.
We know how much how big of a deal that can be, and Vic Fangio kind of made a funny joke about that. I guess you talked about that.
Yeah, he said that he flops on the sideline. Cooper DeJean said something about this yesterday I thought was interesting. They were asking him about like the matchup with Travis Kelce, and he talked about the importance of avoiding the scramble drills with those two. You know, because of Fran, I think the way you put it was mind meld that they have when Patrick Mahomes is extending plays. That really is where I feel like, you know, I'm not as worried about Cooper DeJean in sequence against a guy like that. It is that the scramble drill stuff. And I thought it was interesting that he mentioned that specifically as something that they need to limit.
Yeah.
And just feels like theoretically having Zack Baun and Jahad Campbell would be a nice thing to have here.
Yeah.
Their speed, I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like with Kelce, if you're Andy Reid, aren't you trying to get him matched up against Andrew Makuba at all costs? Like,
sure.
Not
I
to
just
say
mean,
it's that easy,
as a
but-
scrambler.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, the big thing to look at there, you definitely want Baun and Jahad Campbell in terms of, you know, contain and making sure you can track him down sideline to sideline. The other part of it too, though, is, you know, we saw last week Jordan Davis missed opportunity for a sack on Dak Prescott. Those guys have to be able to win those one-on-ones and then finish, right? So, you know, we talk about Jalen Carter and those guys. You know, you're matched up against that Kansas City O-line. Get back there, finish. Don't let him kind of get out of the pocket. The big thing too, you know, obviously, look, he absolutely, you know, was on the wrong side of the line in terms of lowering the shoulder on that DB, Patrick Mahomes. I will say, like earlier in that drive, he had a play where he rolled to his right. And the one guy like gave him a little extra from the Charger side as he was getting ready to step out of bounds. And so I think he was provoked a little bit, Mahomes, on that play. So yeah, I think that's something to watch, certainly, how they try and handle that. I almost did that. Did you guys do a swooper on that?
No.
I thought about doing like leaving it ambiguous, like, oh, there's a sideline altercation with Patrick Mahomes and a defensive player.
My alternate included something along those lines, I'm pretty sure.
You love an alternate.
Well, some of mine, I go chalk. Like, I'm definitely safe right now with my entries. So I'm aware of the fact that one of you guys might also do that. So yeah, I send an alternate.
Yeah, we're starting a little bit more down the middle. We'll get into the freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Time to take a break. On the other side, we're going to talk about the Eagles' offense against the Chiefs' defense before we get to Swooper. Branded Bills, whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Brandon Bills has you covered with performance and style. What are we talking about? We're talking about high-quality hats for your dome. Looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd? These don't have to just be, you know, pre-made things. You can create stuff with Brandon Bills because Brandon Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. They also have a partnership with Penn State as a part of their campus collection. Here's what we can do for you. You ready? Go to brandedbills.com and use code use code BBPHLY for 15% off your first order. Once again, BBPHLY at brandedbills.com for 15% off your first order.
Sports fans, listen up. September is here. That means football's back, school is in, and it's the perfect time to get your finances back in shape as well. I've been checking in on my credit score lately. Let me tell you, if you're a member at TrueMark Financial Credit Union, you've already got that serious edge. They've got this free tool called Savvy Money right inside that online banking and mobile app. I use it myself. Seriously, it's like having your own financial coach right there in your pocket. You can check your credit score anytime without taking a hit. You get tips on how to improve it. You even get alerts if anything changes. That's what I call playing smart defense with your money. So if you're already on Team TrueMark, fire up that app, check out Savvy Money today. And if you're not a member yet, what are you waiting for? Step up your financial game. Swing by one of our the 24-hour branches or visit truemark.com/PHLY to open an account. TrueMark Financial Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
All right, let's get into the Eagles offense against the Chiefs defense. EJ, here's where I will ask you about AJ Brown and what he said this week about his very inauspicious start to the season.
Yeah, so he spoke to the media on Wednesday, which is unlike him. He's usually a Friday guy. And he also did it while Jalen Hurts spoke, which hurt my soul because I was in on Jalen, so I missed AJ.
You think that was intentional? You think that was stirring the pot?
I wouldn't go that far. I think that him coming out on Wednesday was probably intentional.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was like, no, and definitely not stirring the pot. I think if anything, and again, I'm not saying this is actually the case. Maybe it was like strategic because the crowd would have been less so.
Yeah.
You know, like let everybody divide.
Yeah.
And then take advantage of a smaller crowd. But I do have some comments from AJ. This is one from Matt Breen of the Inquirer, my former colleague, great reporter, great writer. I just feel like I got to give Matt his flowers. Good guy.
Okay,
you're giving me a no-sell.
Nobody's disagreeing with you.
I felt like you guys are like, why are you going in for Matt so hard?
You're only making it worse by lingering on it.
All right,
yeah. Tell us who was not a good colleague.
AJ Brown said, "I'm still controlling the game."
That's fired at AJ.
Yeah. Honestly, I should have just said Olivia.
You should have.
He said, "I'm still controlling the game. I'm impacting the game without even touching the ball. Obviously, that's tough because you want to touch the ball, but I'm still helping my teammates get open." And he said on Jordan Schultz's podcast that came out today, I believe, that he was basically covered in zone coverage the entire game, and that he wasn't hurt, he wasn't a decoy. It was just how the game went. So I think my takeaway listening to what AJ said in general is that because he said he wasn't going to answer a few questions about like the self-scouting process and what they wanted to see from the passing game. He said that's a setup question. I'm not answering that. He's being very careful in how he's talking about this game.
Yeah, because he wants the freaking ball.
Yeah, and I think he knows that isn't helpful for the team right now. But I mean, again, we've talked a lot about AJ, the dynamic that AJ, like the inner dissonance that he has when it comes to wanting to impact the game by being productive, but also realizing that sometimes it's not going to happen out because of things he can't control and trying not to, I guess, whatever the word you want to use, ruffle feathers over that.
I think it's okay to acknowledge, like the way that he spoke in the summer, I want to put a stamp on this season that I'm the best wide receiver in football. I think it's okay for him to not be thrilled, even though they won the game, that he only got one target. That's fine. Like, that's probably how you want him to think.
Yeah, I just think that it does create pressure for other people that he doesn't want to create.
Sure. Yeah. I think he's handling it well.
Yeah, I agree.
But I also don't think he has to be a happy soldier about it. Like,
well, I think he does have to be a happy soldier to handle it well. It doesn't really benefit anybody for him to, again, like ruffle feathers over something like this, right? Especially this early in the season.
I think there's the difference between like the internal handling versus the external handling.
Sure.
He's handling it externally the way that I think the organization, everybody would need him to handle it.
That's
like he's doing everything exactly right. I do think, to your point, like it's also not, you don't want to just
when he gets in the car, he's allowed to be like, what?
Like, who's to say he isn't?
And in meetings and stuff, like you have those conversations. Like I think that's perfectly fine. So yeah, if that's.
But I also think the context of what we talked about on Monday, that like there really weren't a lot of. It's not like there were turndowns in this game.
No.
And it also shouldn't be as simple as, well, they were in zone, so I didn't have a lot of opportunities. Like they got to find a way to get in the ball in zone too.
To me, the thing that has been most overstated is like we don't want to force the ball to him. It's like there are ways to manufacture a touch for a guy. And to me, that doesn't seem like, I know the Eagles offense was productive early in the game, so maybe you shouldn't nitpick, but it seems like it should be so easy to just get him the ball on a bubble screen, on something.
First play of the second half. He didn't touch the ball in the first half.
Right.
first offensive
just
play.
be intentional about it. He's a good enough player to warrant that.
Teams, when they go up against Cincinnati Bengals, know you got to stop Jamar Chase. You go against the Vikings, you got to stop Justin Jefferson. Those teams find ways to get their guys the ball. So, I agree with that.
We've talked about how the Eagles scheme sometimes lacks some of that. It's like it's like they have the privilege of being simple because of the talent they have, but that doesn't mean that you don't get creative to feature the talent that you have. So I think we're all on the same page about that.
Well said. Okay, so what are the I think the initial challenge that everybody thinks about when you go up against the Chiefs is they're going to blitz us. They're going to heat us up. And the Eagles did not fare very well against the blitz last week. It didn't come until later in the game.
Right.
What do you expect the Eagles' answers to be this time around?
Yeah, I think you spend more of your time during the course of the week of practice preparing for the blitz package this week than what you did the week before against Matt Eberflus. So I would expect that they'll be better prepared for what for the extra defender inserting into the rush in this game. You know that it's going to come from a variety of angles. They've got lots of different ways that they can impact the quarterback with the extra rusher. Really, the big question here with this Chiefs defense ultimately is, can the secondary hold up when they do blitz? All right, so if you're going to play cover 0, if you're going to play cover 1, if you're going to play 3 over 2, however you're going to cover this from a coverage standpoint, do you have the bodies at safety and at corner to be able to hold up? They went out and they signed Christian Fulton to play corner. He was with the Chargers last year, had a solid year. They brought him in. He was injured for most of camp, so he was really only a dime player for them last week. They're hoping to kind of get him up to speed. That would allow Trent McDuffie to be able to slide inside full-time at nickel, or Fulton potentially to play nickel. They weren't able to do that last week, so Shamari Connor, last year's nickel corner, he had to play in the nickel again this year. They signed Fulton so they wouldn't always have to do that. So I think when you're looking at this secondary, the Eagles can attack that group. Trent McDuffie's a really good player, but when I look at like Jalen Watson, honestly, so much was made after the Super Bowl of that the Eagles defensive line, they just completely dominated the game. I honestly looked, to me, the biggest mismatch was they could not cover AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They had no answers on the perimeter for those two players. So for me, that's a matchup where you can really take advantage here in this game. Now, if Spags decides that he's going to, call the dogs off, and we got to make sure we cover ourselves in the back end. This Chiefs rush did not fare well last week against the Chargers. The 4-man rush was extremely disappointing. No matter like all the different, all the different like charting services and the different, even like the movement stuff. So Sumer Sports and like things like that, where they chart like pass protection efficiency and like how those guys did. The Chargers, like 3 of the Chargers starting 5 offensive linemen were like some of the best in the league from like the win rate stuff. Now, that said, I'll real quickly. The Eagles fans are familiar with what that Brazil service is like and what that can do to a pass rush. We saw that last year with the Eagles. And so I am holding out a little bit of like, all right, like maybe don't, dig too deep of a hole for this Kansas City defensive line.
I can't believe in 2025 they're starting Tillery.
Yeah, they went and signed Tillery from Minnesota this past offseason. Now, they went and traded for Derek Nottie right before the end of camp, who has been a player for them as a nose tackle. Tillery is like
that's a Howie Roseman type move.
Right. Hey, we're going to go. Let's bring a guy in that we know. Signed a deal with the Jets this offseason. They brought him back. Tillery is a pure 3 technique. You can run right at him, but if it's pass downs, like he's their Tershawn Wharton replacement. Wharton has been a good player for them. Now he's down in Carolina, signed a big contract there.
Changed his name.
Get Milton Williams. Did he?
Yeah, I think Tank Warrior. He changed his first name.
I didn't see that. I haven't been following the Panther stuff as closely. But Wharton, I mean, he was 3rd on their team in pressures. He was like 3rd in set. Yeah, he was here. I have it right here. Tershawn Wharton. Yeah, so he was 3rd on the defensive line in snaps, pressures, and 2nd in sacks last year. So when you look at this defensive line, that is going to be a big question. Do they have anybody other than Chris Jones who can win one-on-one? Chris Jones getting older, but he can still do it. Like he can get off the ball. He can win as a runner, as a run defender. He can win as a rusher. So that's the other one, is like you can't let him wreck the game if they decide they're going to go with a pure 4-man rush.
I appreciated that when you mentioned Sumer Sports, you kind of pointed at me because my guy Sean, guy Sean, though, really.
Sean's the man.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's my guy.
Why is he your guy?
My answer is not a good one. We're the same age. We text a lot.
What the hell does that mean?
I like Sean.
Sean's great.
Sean.
No, I like Sean. I definitely am the superlative Sean fan at this table.
So
Turk. He didn't change his name to Turk, but he goes by Turk.
Goes by Turk now. Okay.
I do have a note about the pressure looks. Pre-snap.
Did you steal this from Sean?
I did not steal this from Sean. I talked to Jordan Mailata yesterday about handling the pre-snap pressure looks from the Chiefs and the challenge that being at Arrowhead presents for that. And he talked about how in walkthrough they've really been going over cadence-wise and communication, like not overcooking stuff to keep it a family-friendly program, because it is such a challenge to like be able to communicate pre-snap in that stadium. So definitely an interesting thing to watch.
Okay. What were you going to say?
I think it was Sean. I think it was a Sean Syed thing. Oh, it was January. I go down to the Shrine Bowl, and I'm like, oh, like, you know, let's get together. He offered to pick me up from the airport. Sean, I mean, just the best.
Yeah, he's an incredibly nice guy. Very interesting path to football.
Sean, I know you've been alerted to this conversation by now, so you're definitely paying attention. I could use another new movie recommendation, please. So I'm not going to ask you personally. I want you to find out through this episode.
Oh, why are you asking him for a movie recommendation instead of me?
I think we know the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Now you know how I feel about restaurant recommendations.
No, totally different. Anything else? I know that you talked about their secondary can be had.
Yeah.
But if we go aside from, this is kind of silly because there's no Dallas Goedert. So aside from AJ Brown, the next answer is Devontae Smith. But is there any particular way you think will make sense for the Eagles to attack?
You know, I didn't think Brian Cook looked particularly strong this past week at safety. So that would be one where, all right, like, you know, maybe there's a play where you can get Grant Calcaterra matched up on him. And I think that's something where Calcaterra could win from an athletic standpoint. But I mean, I'm trying to just get those guys, get the receivers, get those guys worked in as often as you can.
And how about Saquon, given all the effort that Spags made to stop him in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, we saw a decent amount of that even just last week against Dallas, where all right, they're going to start with a high safety shell, and then late in the pre-snap phase, we're going to bring that safety down. That was something Kansas City did at a really high level last week. Daniz brought that up as something we could potentially see. My guess is that Kansas City is going to try and do that again. That would be my guess, is that they're going to do what they can to try and make sure they keep Saquon from beating them on the ground.
Big Darius Cooper game coming.
Could be.
You never know.
Find out in Swooper.
All right, let's get to Swooper if we're ready. And we got to start, EJ, by reviewing what happened last week. And before we get to that, we should note that EJ received a package today. And we can go to the super chat that we have here from Pav, who says, a package was sent to the PHLY office, care of EJ on behalf of the sickos, a special tool that might help him during Swooper. Did he get it?
I did get it.
And there you go. What a reveal this was when he opened it. He had no idea that there was a package coming to him. And if you are listening on the audio, EJ now has an abacus to help him.
It will not surprise you that I have not used one of these before.
Ever?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe I just can't remember when I used it.
Yeah, it probably would have been before you were able to remember.
And
do you know how?
I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward, right? Am I missing something?
Well, you're going to start with 31 turkeys. Let's see if you can get yourself 31.
These have got to be 10, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I appreciate the gesture.
Now let the record show for the audio listeners that he has put up 21 turkeys instead of 31.
I appreciate the gesture.
Unfortunately, the abacus is not.
This isn't line.
Idiot proof.
This is in line with what I was going to say. The calculator is a perfectly reasonable thing to use in Swooper, just to shut that part of your brain off, not have to worry about it, and it's more efficient than this abacus. I appreciate the gesture because especially it means that somebody was listening that deep into the show. So as I get used to this new job, like that is really like it's very telling how much these people care about how much you guys make fun of me, which I appreciate. But the calculator is definitely a more efficient medium.
I don't know. What
do you mean you don't know? It's definitely more efficient.
It's not more efficient. Using your mind is more efficient than having to plug the numbers in on your calculator. What if you mistype?
You got to say, what if you miscalculate in your mind?
It's subtraction from 24.
To me, the calculator takes all the guesswork out of it. You just put it in. Right now, at the very least, you're talking to the Swooper champion.
No,
I think my process.
There's no such thing as a champ. You were the leader.
Week 1 champion. And
there's no champion. Are the Eagles a champion for winning one game?
okay, that's fair. Week 1 winner, and I got 7 more turkeys than you this week.
Yeah, it was a good start for you.
I don't know if I need to change my process at all.
Okay.
But I will use it because it was very kind of.
All right. Well, if you are curious about how this week's Swooper is going to go, you need to stick around for overtime. All right, EJ.
I like the Grizzly overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer it
when overtime. Go there.
Yeah.
Or the full Overman overtime.
When do you workshop these?
I don't. Yeah. On the show.
Yes,
That's what let me just standing in front of the mirror in the morning.
I thought maybe on the drive-in.
No, not really. I'm too busy listening to whatever your takes are so I can steal them. Last week, EJ, you debuted. Ben Van Sumeren has either a catch or a carry. Did not hit.
Nope.
Ben Van Sumeren plays at least 3 offensive snaps. Unfortunately, did not hit.
It would have both hit too.
I'm only noticing now that just you know what? Not everybody's perfect. It's worth noting that Daniz wrote ban Van Sumeren, and so maybe this is what happened. He wrote ban,
and he cursed him.
Yeah, he cursed him. He banned him from the NFL for the rest of the season.
In his mind, he knew that it was Ben. It was only in the typing that he mistyped it. It's like using a calculator to do simple addition and subtraction.
I'm not going in for this one. No.
EJ, you also had Jahad Campbell has an interception, a forced fumble, or 2 sacks. For now,
as of now, yep.
As of now, that hit. And you had the Eagles have more runs of 8+ yards than the Cowboys have sacks. Cowboys had 1 sack. Eagles had, I believe, 3 or 4 runs of 8+ yards. So you hit on 2 items. Nice job.
Thank you.
I had Saquon Barkley has a run of 20+ yards. Did not happen. A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb combined for fewer than 100 receiving yards. A.J. did his part. Unfortunately, CeeDee Lamb did not hit. The Cowboys have the lead at any point in the second half. Did not hit. And George Pickens and Devontae Smith combined for more targets than CeeDee Lamb and Dallas Goedert. That's a big goose egg for your boy. Fran, Jalen Hurts attempts at least 30 passes. Did not hit. Saquon Barkley rushes for at least 100 yards. He spent 10 turkeys. Didn't happen.
Yep.
The Eagles will score at least 32 points. Didn't happen. The Eagles win. It did hit. But the Eagles win by double digits. You did not get that. And so for now, EJ is up 1-0. He will start today with 31 turkeys. I will have 27. Fran, you have 17. Is everybody ready to go? Now, the order this week.
Go through that number really quick. You said it was 7. I have 17.
17. I have 27. EJ has 31.
Got it. Yep.
The order this week goes Fran, EJ, me, then the Deniz ones. So
Got it.
Fran, you kick things off. What?
I'm not going to remember the order.
So him, then you, then me, then Deniz. You're going second, 5th.
No, don't overcomplicate this.
We'll put numbers into it.
No more numbers.
All right,
first 6th, then 10th.
First submission here. Jalen Hurts has more total touchdowns and fewer giveaways than Patrick Mahomes.
Both have to hit.
Now, this has been the case in both of their Super Bowl matchups. Hurts has 7 total touchdowns between the 2 games with 2 giveaways. Mahomes, 6 total touchdowns, 3 giveaways over those 2 games. We will start the bidding at 3.
More total touchdowns and fewer giveaways.
It's the giveaways that are making me a little nervous on this one.
Giveaway.
3 going once. 3 going twice. A good early buy for Fran, who wins it for 3.
I'm down to 14.
Over you, AJ.
I don't keep track of how
17
many
minus
turkeys you
3.
guys have.
Okay.
I can't do that. All right. My first entry is AJ Brown has more than 7 targets. For some context, in 2022, after Devontae Smith went catchless in the season opener against the Detroit Lions,
Okay.
he had exactly 7 targets and 7 receptions the following week, in which case I think they did really force feed him the ball early on. So I wanted to make sure I went high enough to bake in like the force feeding of AJ Brown to compensate for the lack of involvement in the opener.
We should have done something. I don't know if one of you guys has it on just how early he gets his first target.
That would have been fun.
Thinking back, I should have done something around that.
I'm going to start the bidding at 1.
2.
I'll go 3.
4.
I'm going to go 5.
7 targets. 6.
I got turkeys. 7.
Must be nice. 7. You know, it could be a low possession game. Devontae's got to get the ball too, but there's no Dallas Goedert.
You know, the pass game runs
7 going once.
through those guys.
7 going twice. Sold.
Give it to him. 7.
All right. Here we go.
All right. 1. 2.
Is that 6?
6.
All right.
You got it.
Hey, nice job, man.
Thank you.
You know, with Francis, give you a sticker.
Shout out to Francis. His adding and subtracting is probably better than mine. Yeah, listen, I've been out the game for a while.
I will say the abacus really pops on
Yeah, it does.
It is a fun prop.
Color. It's outstanding.
All right, I'm going for a couple Super Bowl callbacks here.
Okay.
So first one is one of the defensive standouts from that game has a repeat performance. And so I'm going to be very specific here.
Okay.
Cooper DeJean has an interception. Zack Baun has an interception. Jalen Hunt has a sack. Or Jordan Davis has a sack. Those are the 4 things. Those guys all hit those marks in the Super Bowl. Any of the 4 of them repeats it.
Who was DeJean and Baun?
DeJean Baun interception. Jalen Hunt sack.
Davis.
Jordan Davis sack. And I will start the bidding at 2.
3.
3 going once.
Wow.
You've got turkeys too.
I mean, I'm just surprised. It seemed like you worked so hard to make this one, and you're just gonna
Didn't work that hard. 3 going twice. Yeah, Fran's got it.
It's good value.
Yeah, very good.
We'll see.
I mean, what do you think is the most likely of those 4?
Jalen Hunt sack.
Oh.
Jordan Davis sack could happen too.
Jordan Davis sack
I
could
didn't say
happen.
it's the only one that could happen.
I think
What's the most
Jordan
likely?
Davis is probably would have been 1 for me, and then Hunt, and then the interceptions are just harder, more volatile.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
fair.
All right, our first Daniz submission, number 4 here as we go in. Fran has 11 turkeys. EJ has 27. I also have 27. Oh, geez, look how long this is.
I gotta move so I can read it.
The Eagles do at least one of the following 8 things.
Oh
at
my
least one of
God.
the following 8
At least
things.
one of
Okay,
the
so
following
this is also a Super Bowl callback here, as you will
Oh,
see.
thank you, Andrew.
Score 40+ points. Complete 5+ passes of 20 yards. Force 3+ turnovers. Get at least 6 sacks. Score a defensive touchdown. Have at least 6 consecutive drives without allowing a first down. That's not going to happen.
Not happening, yeah.
Face 5 or more consecutive dropbacks that result in a sack or interception. That's not going to happen.
Either. Yeah.
Or hold the Chiefs to 20 consecutive unsuccessful
That's unlikely.
offensive plays. So these are all things that happened in the Super Bowl. I would say that the most likely of those, maybe score a defensive touchdown
Yeah,
or 5+ passes of 20+ yards.
the defensive touchdown perked my ears up a little bit, but
I'll start the bidding at 2.
2.
You did say 2.
I'm just, it's a number. It's tough. It takes a second to process. I mean, I guess I'll go 3.
3 going once.
Oh man.
3 going twice. Sold to EJ.
Yeah, I mean, one of them could happen.
A lot going on with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. You get a lot of options.
Yeah, but I think Dana's put this in as like it really was just
Just a
to
landmine?
appreciate how crazy.
Yeah, that's what it is. He wants us to just remember just how impressive that performance was. All right, Fran, over to you.
All right, let's go back to the A.J. Brown target discussion. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both have at least 4 targets in this game. Now, both players combined for 4 targets, 4 catches, 24 yards in week 1. First time that both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith each had fewer than 4 targets in the same game. Hurts targeted wide receivers on just 7 pass attempts in the game. Jahan Dotson also had 3 targets. He targeted running backs and tight ends on 13 of those targets and had 3 throwaways, just kind of showing the dispersal there. So AJ and Devontae both have at least 4 targets. Start the bidding at 3.
5. I know that 4 is after 3. I wanted to escalate.
6.
7.
7.
9.
10.
11.
I'm out.
He can't bid.
Nope.
11 going once. 11 going twice. Wow, that's premature on the abacus.
What are you gonna do about it?
Sold. But
honestly,
you did almost bait me into going 12 there.
The abacus is actually just good for like the
That would
visual.
be great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like I think they're not everybody's a math whiz over here. There are probably some people at home who appreciate being able to keep track visually.
Math whiz, as if we're doing trigonometry.
I didn't get to trigonometry.
Brand 11 turkeys, EJ 10 turkeys. I have 27, but no items yet. Go ahead, EJ.
I mean, I guess for the listeners, you can tell them that we have 10, but if you're watching, you know I got 10.
That's true. Go ahead. Over to you.
I told you I was going to lose track. Jalen Hurts is sacked 3 or more times. Spent a lot of time talking about the Chiefs, how much they'll blitz, whether the Eagles can handle that or not. I didn't think that the Eagles looked particularly good against the blitz in the second half against the Cowboys. So I don't know. Not sure how to feel about that one.
You gonna open the bidding?
I'm going to open the bidding at 2.
3.
I'm not gonna let you have it for 3. I'll do 4.
Three times is not that many. I'll say 5.
You can have 5.
5 going once.
It's all yours.
5 going twice. Sold. Okay. Over to me. Call back to the dagger. Devontae Smith scores a touchdown of at least 30 plus yards.
Ooh.
And I'll start the bidding. I'll start it at 2.
30 plus.
3.
3 going once. 3 going twice. Sold to EJ.
Wow.
Yeah, 30 plus is a big play.
It's a very specific.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Daniz's time. Jalen Hurts scrambles for more first downs than Patrick Mahomes. We talked already on this show about how they both had 5 in week 1. And Daniz also says this was a swooper item for Super Bowl licks, which hit when Hurts scrambled for 3 first downs and Mahomes scrambled for none. I'll start the bidding at 3.
4.
I'll go 5.
6.
7. 7 going once. 7 going twice.
8.
Oh.
8 going once. 8 going twice. Sold to Fran.
Have you ever counted and then just thrown in a last second bid? Are you actually like processing when you count?
I'm deciding, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Over to Fran. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen on the show.
It was an honest question.
Yeah.
An Eagles corner has an interception. Quinyon dropped the interception last
Yeah,
Now,
week.
what if,
obviously
are we going by where they line up?
No, we're going by the listed position.
Okay, so if DeJean is at safety and base,
Yeah,
it counts.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep. If DeJean is a safety and base, this counts.
But if Drew Makuba is lined up as a nickel and dime, it doesn't count.
Nope. Correct.
Okay. Well, we got to get that.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
Yep. Patrick Mahomes is 4-0 in his career following back-to-back losses. And in those 4 games, 10 touchdowns. He has thrown 4 picks, so 1 interception a game, but 74% completion in those games. He's usually been very good.
By the way, where did you get that stat about Super Bowl guys that never faced off again?
It's the first time in NFL history that 2 quarterbacks faced each other in a game that both have won Super Bowls against each other.
Right.
Unique.
Did you
I can't
did you
reveal my
like go
sources.
through that yourself?
No, I've got a
Okay. You got a guy.
I got a person.
Okay, or a lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Or other.
Yeah.
Okay.
NFL media.
So maybe
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna start the bidding at 2.
Be nice for Adoree Jackson to get an interception.
That's true.
Yeah. Redemption.
No, he can't bid 3, EJ, if you want to steal it for 3. He only has 3 turkeys left.
I might be saving my turkeys.
Oh, jeez. 2 going. I'll go 3. 3 going once. 3 going twice.
Got it.
Sold. Okay. Over to EJ.
All right. I teased this earlier.
Mm.
Fred Johnson takes at least 1 snap as a 6 offensive lineman. I will start the bidding.
Now hold on. What if they go super heavy and there are 7 offensive linemen?
He would count
Counts.
as number 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
It counts.
But a replacement snap does not count.
Yeah, no. If he comes in a tackle, that does not count.
Right.
Okay.
It's got to be the jumbo pack.
And how are you starting the bidding?
I'll start at a 3 to keep Fran out of it.
What if he lines up out wide? What if he's the fullback?
Fullback. I feel like fullback doesn't count. I
feel like you should get the point if he's a fullback.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about he's on the field for an offensive snap while 5 other offensive linemen are also on the field?
Okay, that's probably
Okay.
more solid language there. That's a veteran
Okay.
move. Okay. I'm starting the bidding at 3.
At 3?
It sounds like insider knowledge to me.
Yeah. Now this this is dirty.
Shady.
Don't know if this is
dealings over
insider
there.
knowledge.
Extremely dirty. Yeah.
Dagger BS we got over there.
Usually this is like results based, not like you're in the game plan meeting room and you have inside information. I'll go 4.
5.
You can't let him have this.
6.
7.
All right, you got it.
You know, it kills me to not have turkeys.
You
for
have
next
no
week.
turkeys left.
I know.
All right, my final item, the penultimate item of this week's Swooper. I don't remember what it is, so let's see. Oh yes, the callback to Tank Bigsby. So I want either the bad or the good from Tank Bigsby as the kickoff returner. So either Tank Bigsby muffs or fumbles on a kickoff return, at some point puts the ball on the ground after he's already touched it, or he returns a kickoff beyond the Eagles' own 45-yard line.
I thought about doing that second one just on its own. So
Okay.
I'm glad you did this.
We either get something funny, the bad or the good from Tank Bigsby, the kickoff returner. And I'm going to start the bidding at 3. So I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to be...
No.
But there we go.
Exclusion.
Yep.
All right. So as we head into the final one from Dana, I have 16 turkeys. EJ has 0, and Fran has 3.
Loading up for next week, or are you saving it for Dana's final entry?
I don't know.
I know.
I'm giving myself options, and we get Dana's is now. Okay. The Eagles win the game by more points than the last number Andrew said at the moment the first player yells swooper out. So the earlier the first player says swooper out, the more valuable the item becomes for the winner. Okay. So hold on.
Yeah. The Eagles win by more points.
Are you counting up or counting down? Hold on. So the the earlier the first player says super out, the more valuable. Oh, okay. So you're gonna start
counting up.
You're gonna start, Andrew, at let's call it 30, and you're gonna count down. And what we are doing is 2 people have to say swooper out, so you're out of it, and then when the second person says swooper out,
The third person
owns it for that much money.
Yeah.
Right?
Borrowing from next
Well, hold
week.
on.
No, that's how many.
Oh no, I think you're
more
counting
points.
up. The earlier the first person, the more
That's a
value.
good move.
Oh no, you're counting up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're counting up. So you're gonna start at 1, 2. You're gonna go up, and then that's when the super out comes in.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, you guys ready?
Can I even do this one? No.
Yeah, because you borrow from next week.
You can borrow from next week.
This is the last one. You always can borrow from next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I apologize.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Swooper out.
Super out.
It's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
All right, EJ, you got the Eagles got to win by at least. But wait, is it
7.
more? They got to win by 7, right?
Yeah,
by
I think
more than.
we got out at 6. So more than yes. So
All right, so you are down 6 turkeys, but you need the Eagles to win by 7 points. And you've got a nice loaded roster here.
I do. I have a lot. I need to win this week.
Fran, Jalen Hurts has more touchdowns and fewer giveaways than Patrick Mahomes.
She's done every time he's faced against him.
The Dana's repeat Super Bowl performance poo-poo platter. And Jalen Hurts has more first downs from scrambles.
No, I had your.
Oh, you had my.
I had your
Super Bowl
poo-poo platter.
performance.
Yes.
Okay.
The
The
Zack
George
Baun
Davis
interception, Jalen Sunday,
Okay, I
Jordan
apologize. I just wrote repeat Super Bowl performance.
Yep.
And Jalen Hurts has more first down scrambles than Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
EJ, you have AJ Brown has at least 7 targets. You have Daniz's Super Bowl poo-poo platter. You have AJ and Devontae both have at least 4 targets. Devontae Smith scores a touchdown of at least 30 yards. Fred Johnson plays at least 1 snap as a 6th offensive lineman. And the Eagles win by 7.
I don't know why I loaded up so much. It seems like a mistake.
You're trying to step on our neck.
Heavy wears the crown, the fake crown that you gave yourself.
Fake crowd.
And you have negative 6 turkeys. And then I have Jalen Hurts is sacked at least 3 times. An Eagles corner has an interception. And the Tank Bigsby kickoff return 1. And I have 16 turkeys left over.
It's a lot of
There you
a
turkeys.
lot of turkeys.
Well, I'm going to have to start getting on the board at some point.
Yep.
All right. How do you feel, Abacus, man? Now, I think you got to slide the yellow ones at the bottom. You got to slide 6 over so we can just know that you're down
no.
6 turkeys for next week.
I don't think that's how this thing works.
I mean, you can make it work however you want it to work.
No, it's pretty straightforward. I don't think
How are we going to get into negative numbers?
there's no negatives on it.
You can make them. Start from the bottom, push them over.
No, I had +6 this week, and I didn't do that. We will reconvene. We will.
What do you mean you didn't do that? Yes, you did.
Yeah, but I'm
started
saying
with
like
31.
I didn't have it like pre-established when I got in here.
Because you didn't open it yet.
It was open before the show. It was open before the show. I'm not messing with it. It's done. It's done its job. If I was using the calculator would be closed by now. I wouldn't have -6 in the calculator.
Why not? All right. Good stuff, everybody. Thank you, Andrew. We will be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Daniz will be in studio with us. And then, of course, we've got you covered on game day. Full coverage before, during halftime, and after the game for all of us here. We thank you for watching and listening. Oh, are there any more super chats that we didn't get to?
I think there are. Yeah,
I think there are, right?
Yeah.
Bidets, the Abacus. Alexander says, Swoopergate is the biggest scandal in sports. There's no scandal here at all. Nothing to see here.
Oh, I completely
Still
agree.
no stat corrections.
Yeah.
By the way.
It's gonna be like week 6. So you guys go, oh no,
No, yeah, by the time you get to honestly, it should be done by tonight.
If they make a change, you lose a half a point.
Right. But we can move forward like I'm the winner. We can do that. Fine.
Matthew Greenwood. I can't be the only one thinking AJ Brown is hampered by the hamstring and they just want to keep him as the defense's main event. He was jogging out there. I did think that he didn't look all the way right. But I also don't think that they're just going to have him be a decoy. That doesn't really make sense long term. And then Riley McCarthy says, what's your concern level if AJ has no targets at the end of the first half? They might as well.
I'd
trade
be
him.
very concerned for my super chances.
Yeah, if he doesn't have any targets first half, I think it'll be harder for him
And
to
he's
contain
active?
his
and has played the whole half.
Yeah.
And then they might as well trade him.
Yeah.
One quick note to reward the listeners who are still with us here. Xavier Worthy returned to practice with a sleeve and a heavy padding around his right shoulder, according to Jesse Newell of The Athletic.
The picture that I saw is very funny. It's like what's the guy's name? The neighbor in Family Guy. Where
Quagmire.
Yeah, it's Quagmire when he walks out of his house and his whole arm is all puffed up. Exactly what it looked like.
It does look like that.
Now we know how Xavier Worthy spent his time.
It's a long flight for Brazil.
He was doing it on the fly. Wow. Wow.
HX.
That would be. I look forward to the oral history of that flight.
Oh man. You need me to sign off? I'd rather not.
Walking
Imagine.
down the aisle. What are you doing, dude?
Oh.
Is that Savior worthy?
I apologize. I shouldn't have said it. Oh,
Oh. I have to check the scouting report. I don't think he had sticky hands when he was at Texas.
oh,
All right, injuries. Savior's got an enlarged forearm. All right, good way to close the show. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening. We will talk to you tomorrow at 2:00. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.